Hey, Patriots fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved New England Patriots. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. This way, you'll stay updated and never miss any breaking news or exclusive content. Alright, so here's the story that's been shaking up every corner of the NFL fanbase this week. And believe me, it's the kind of thing that sends shockwaves through locker rooms, group chats, and sports bars all across the country. Word coming out of Foxborough is that Patriots head coach Mike VRABEL has made an absolutely stunning move, reportedly expelling cornerback Christian Gonzalez from the main roster after what insiders are calling a polarizing and deeply personal incident during team activities. Now, details are still trickling out, but the general feeling among those close to the situation is that this wasn't just about performance or discipline. This was about control, leadership, and ego. VRABEL, who's known for his fiery presence and old-school mentality, seems to be drawing a line in the sand. And Gonzalez, who was once considered the bright young star of the Patriots defense, might have been the unfortunate casualty of that message. The locker room, according to early whispers, is stunned. Players are keeping quiet publicly, but behind closed doors, there's confusion, frustration, and maybe even fear. Everyone knows VRABEL doesn't play games when it comes to setting a tone, but this might have gone further than anyone expected. From what's being whispered by a few insiders around Gillette Stadium, the spark that ignited this whole situation apparently started earlier in the week during a closed practice session. Sources are suggesting that Gonzalez clashed with VRABEL over defensive assignments. Not just a simple disagreement, but a heated, visible exchange that caught the attention of the entire coaching staff. VRABEL, being the fiery competitor he is, reportedly didn't take kindly to what he viewed as a challenge to his authority. Gonzalez, on the other hand, is known for his confidence, sometimes walking that fine line between swagger and defiance. It seems that in this case, the line may have been crossed. Teammates tried to defuse the situation, but by then, the energy had shifted. VRABEL's expression, witnesses say, went from irritation to outright disbelief. And when a coach like VRABEL loses that kind of composure, something drastic often follows. Nobody thought it would come to a full expulsion, though. This wasn't just benching a guy for attitude. This was the kind of move that makes headlines, that tests a team's chemistry, and that tells everyone exactly who's in charge. Now, we all know that Mike VRABEL has been walking into Foxborough with something to prove. After the Titans parted ways with him, landing the Patriots job was like coming full circle, a chance to reignite that hard-nosed, Belichick-era discipline that defined the team for so long. But the thing about trying to revive that old Patriots toughness is that the modern locker room isn't built the same way. These players grew up in a different league, one where relationships and communication matter as much as tactics and toughness. And maybe, just maybe, VRABEL's approach rubbed someone like Gonzalez the wrong way. The young cornerback had quickly become one of the most promising defenders in the AFC, showing poise, intelligence, and incredible athleticism. To see him suddenly removed from the main roster, not for injury or trade, but for what's being described as behavioral conduct, is shocking. It raises questions about whether VRABEL's trying to send a message to his entire team, a reminder that no one, no matter how talented or hyped, is untouchable under his rule. The power dynamic here feels intense, and the fallout could be just beginning. Behind the scenes, a lot of the chatter seems to be about what Gonzalez's next move will be. Some sources say he's furious, not just about being dropped from the roster, but about how public and humiliating the situation has become. There's talk that his representatives are already exploring trade options, even though nothing official had been announced. Others close to the players say Gonzalez feels blindsided, insisting he never meant to disrespect VRABEL, only to voice his opinion about certain defensive adjustments. If that's true, then this could all come down to a massive miscommunication that spiraled out of control in the heat of the moment. VRABEL, meanwhile, hasn't addressed the issue directly, dodging questions from reporters and keeping his statements vague, focusing on team discipline and standards of accountability. But when you're starting cornerback, a guy who was supposed to be the cornerstone of your defensive rebuild, is suddenly out of the main lineup, silence only fuels speculation. And right now, speculation is running wild in New England. Fans, as you can imagine, are losing it. Patriots Nation has been divided ever since this rumor broke. Half of them are backing VRABEL, saying this is exactly the kind of no-nonsense leadership the team's been missing since Belichick left. That players today need a reminder of what it means to wear the Patriots jersey. The other half? They're calling this move reckless, ego-driven, even self-sabotaging. After all, how do you rebuild a team by cutting ties with your young star over what seems like a moment of heated emotion? Social media is ablaze with theories, with some even claiming there's more to the story. That Gonzalez's frustration had been building for weeks, not just about coaching, but about the team's overall direction. Whatever the truth is, it's clear this situation has become a massive distraction. The Patriots have enough challenges trying to rebuild their identity in a post-Brady, post-Belichick world. The last thing they needed was a scandal involving one of their most promising players. And yet, here we are, right in the middle of it. The big question now is simple but powerful. Can VRABEL recover from this? Can Gonzalez? Because in the NFL, perception matters just as much as results. VRABEL's reputation as a hard-nosed, old-school coach might play well with some fans and front office executives. But if he's alienating his players in the process, that could spell long-term trouble. On the flip side, Gonzalez has to tread carefully, too. If he's seen as a player who can't handle coaching authority, it could affect how other teams view him moving forward. This whole ordeal feels like a test, not just of leadership, but of maturity, communication, and balance. Somewhere between VRABEL's demand for discipline and Gonzalez's drive for self-expression, something broke, and repairing that trust might take more than a few closed-door meetings. For now, the Patriots camp is on edge. The players are walking on eggshells, and the fans are refreshing their feeds, waiting for the next update in a saga that's turned into one of the biggest off-field dramas of the season. In the days following the shocking expulsion, the story has only gotten louder, spreading through every sports talk show, podcast, and online forum like wildfire. Reporters have camped outside Gillette Stadium, hoping to catch even a glimpse of Gonzalez or VRABEL, while anonymous sources continue to drip-feed fragments of the story to the media. Some claim the tension between the two had been brewing for weeks, long before the reported confrontation in practice. Others say the team's leadership group tried to mediate behind closed doors, but VRABEL refused to compromise, insisting that the standard is the standard. That phrase, once inspiring under Belichick, now sounds like a battle cry for a coach fighting to establish control in a fractured locker room. The Patriots organization has remained officially silent, issuing only a short statement saying the team was focused on preparation and discipline. Still, no one's buying the corporate calm. Everyone can sense the storm beneath it. The fans want answers, and the players, though silent in public, are speaking volumes with their body language. Eyes down, no smiles, all business. Something's definitely broken in Foxborough, and the damage might run deeper than anyone expected. The media, of course, has turned this into the league's latest soap opera, dissecting every possible angle. Former players have chimed in, too, and the opinions are split right down the middle. Some veterans are applauding VRABEL for taking a hard stand, saying today's athletes need more discipline and fewer excuses. Others are blasting him, arguing that leadership isn't about domination, it's about connection, and that pushing out a young star like Gonzalez could be catastrophic for team morale. On national TV, analysts are pulling up tape of VRABEL's old days under Belichick, pointing out how he thrived in a system that demanded obedience, but warning that such methods might not translate in the modern era. Meanwhile, fans online are turning this into a meme war, half defending their coach's old-school grit, half mourning the apparent implosion of their team's future. The whole situation feels like a tug-of-war between eras, the past's rigid hierarchy versus the present's player empowerment. And right now, it's not clear which side is winning. One thing's certain, though. Everyone's watching and nobody's indifferent. Inside the locker room, sources say the atmosphere has turned icy. Veterans are staying out of the drama, but the younger players, many of whom looked up to Gonzalez, are reportedly shaken. A few have even expressed private concern, that this kind of authoritarian leadership could kill the team's chemistry. Gonzalez himself has gone completely silent on social media, a move that's only intensified curiosity. Some insiders claim he's already been approached by other franchises with quiet inquiries about his status and mindset. If that's true, then VRABEL's decision could have unintended ripple effects across the league. Teams love a talented cornerback, and if they smell tension in Foxborough, they might try to swoop in. But the bigger question is how this affects the Patriots' defensive unit. Gonzalez wasn't just a player. He was a cornerstone of the rebuild, a symbol of hope after years of inconsistency. Replacing that presence, both on and off the field, won't be easy. The trust, once lost, doesn't return overnight, and right now, trust seems to be the rarest commodity in that building. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling that team owner Robert Kraft isn't thrilled about how this has unfolded. While he's always given his coaches autonomy, Kraft also understands the value of optics, and this entire situation looks messy, even by New England standards. Some say Kraft has privately met with VRABEL to discuss the fallout, not to reverse the decision, but to ensure the chaos doesn't spiral further. VRABEL, for his part, is standing firm, portraying himself as the unwavering captain in a storm. But behind that confident image, there's speculation that even he knows this might have gone too far. The Patriots front office is already under pressure after a disappointing start to the season, and now this storyline threatens to overshadow every press conference, every game, every narrative about progress. If the team doesn't start winning, and fast, this incident could turn from a leadership statement into a symbol of dysfunction. In a franchise built on discipline and success, the optics of discord are poison. And right now, the Patriots look like they're drinking deep from that cup. Meanwhile, Christian Gonzalez might be quietly planning his comeback, whether it's with New England or somewhere else. Friends close to him say he's been training harder than ever, channeling his frustration into focus. He feels misunderstood, they claim, but not defeated. The league has seen stories like this before. Young talents clashing with hard-nosed coaches, only to rise again in new uniforms, proving their worth. If Gonzalez lands elsewhere and thrives, the narrative could flip overnight, painting VRABEL as the man who let another star slip away. And you can bet other teams are watching closely. A player with Gonzalez's potential doesn't stay sidelined for long. For now, though, he's in limbo, caught between pride and patience, loyalty and liberation. And that tension, the waiting, the silence, might be the most telling part of this entire saga. Sometimes, the loudest statement is the one you don't make. Gonzalez isn't talking, but the league is listening. As the days pass, the noise isn't dying down. It's growing louder, sharper, and more personal. Every sports network, every talk show, every fan account has picked a side, and the Patriots season is becoming a reality show in real time. If VRABEL can steady the ship, win games, and re-establish order, he'll be hailed as the man who brought back accountability. But if the losses pile up and the locker room fractures further, this decision could define his tenure in the worst possible way. For Gonzalez, the next move will be everything. A trade, a statement, even a quiet return could reshape his image instantly. One thing's clear, this story has gone far beyond football. It's become a symbol of generational tension in the sport, of what happens when old-school power meets modern independence. The Patriots are living that clash right now, and everyone else is watching, popcorn in hand, wondering who will blink first, the coach who refuses to bend, or the young star who refuses to break. Either way, this chapter in New England won't be forgotten anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.